So awesome. I have to say, got it or leave. So that's great. It's awesome for privacy. Welcome everybody to our Tuesday team call. I am so fired up. I'm sitting down and I want to be standing up, but then you'll be looking under my chin. So I'm really excited about this call. There's a lot of great information that you're going to get. You're going to hear some inspirational story. And I'm just super excited. We have LVA coming up this weekend. Some of you will be in person. Some of you will be strictly on Zoom, like us in Canada, but we are getting together. So we will get together in person to do it virtually. So there you go. We figure these things out. We do what we're going to do. And I encourage you to get registered for this LVA if you're not registered yet. Tag your teams, let them know, encourage them, because if you want to move forward in this business, it's not going to happen by accident. It's only going to happen with intentionality. I don't know if that's a real word, but I've heard it said many, many times. So you've got to be intentional to move your business forward. And so having said that, I got to move my notes away here for a moment. I've got a guest speaker who we're going to have jump on first because I'm really excited in the shifts that this individual has made and taken over the last month or so. And it's exciting for me to witness this. And I want you to all be a part of it and to hear what's going on. We so often hear from our elite distributors and what they're doing and how they're enrolling people and you know, the common distributor like us are going, oh, we can't do what they're doing. That's too hard, right? We think we can, we say we can, but then there's things that get in the way. And we're going to address that in a little while. And so I've got Mike Dufour on here. Unmute yourself, Mike. I'll just introduce you. I met Mike a few years ago when he joined LifeVantage. In fact, I'm going to get you to share your story, Mike, just your 2-3 minute story, how you got involved. But Mike has been having some great success recently, and he's not brand new. He's got an old database. He's continuing to add to that database, but he's no different than the rest of us here, okay? And I think that's the big thing, is to witness somebody that's no different than you having success. So Mike, share your story with us. What brought you to LifeVantage, or how did you get here? What do you do?
Okay. Sounds good, Kerry. Thank you. I appreciate you 110%. How I got here. So I met a lady at a coffee shop just after me and my ex split up. And she said all the right things. And I said, I'm in. Let's do it. Because I was looking for something, right? That's what happened for me. What do? I work for a delivery company. I deliver all day long, and then I go home and do what I can do on my business. Don't tell anybody else this, but I also do it when I'm driving at work. I shouldn't be doing that, but I'm constantly building. And it felt like for quite a while I was just building and not getting anywhere. So frustrating. But I'm 42 years old. I have 3 kids. I have a couple dogs that actually they mean the world to me. All of them do. I was struggling in life. I just wanted something new, and LifeVantage showed me that new path that I wanted to be on. And it's been a struggle right from the get-go, but I can feel the love and the family and the atmosphere that I want to be a part of. And I look at the people above me, like Kerry and Fred and Tori and all those people. I know I can do this. I know in my heart I can do this. Just been struggling with my heart to get there. But anyways, that's sorry.
No, that's cool, Mike. I've got a list of questions for you. And just so you know, Mike and I never practiced this. I never gave him a list of questions. I remember a few months ago, or maybe even a year ago, Mike was going to be interviewed and he had to have all the questions up front. He was so nervous and wanted to be prepared. And now it's like a different guy. So we're going to ask how that's happened. But Mike is just embracing this. So there's no question that you met Karen Woodruff, and she explained this to you. So when she explained it, what was it that you felt you were missing in your life that LifeVantage could give you?
Family, love.
Okay.
Simple.
Cool.
Very simple.
Anyone else feel like we're a big family here? I'm gonna be asking lots of you for participation. So Mike, how long have you been involved with LifeVantage? Approximately.
6 years. Let's go 6 years.
Okay, cool. 6 years. Do you recall how many enrollments you had in June of this month or of this year?
0.
Okay. How about July? Last
0.
month. And
0. Nothing.
okay, and this month is August. And as of August the 7th, how many enrollments did you have?
4.
4. And then the 8th? 5.
I was still, no, it wasn't the 8th. It was like the last.
Oh, right.
It wasn't the 8th. It was a little bit longer. Yeah, it took a little bit longer, but it was the 13th, I think it was. So then I got 5.
Okay. So here Mike enrolls 5 people in less than half a month, but no enrollments the previous 2 months. So probably the big question that people are wondering and asking, what changed? So there's the question for you, Mike. What changed? Did people all of a sudden get smart and start saying yes?
No. I won't lie. A lot of this database that I've been working with lately is working on them for quite a while. So I mean, they're just not finally, but they're just. I guess I'm just saying the right things and doing the right things, and they're. How do you explain it? They're I don't want to say jumping off the edge, but they're just getting in line now, and everything's falling in place, right? So I've been working with a lot of these people for quite a while, and then about half of them I haven't been. They're just fresh new enrollments. What changed for me though was my mental state, I found my inner spirit. I'm in my heart, getting rid of the demons and working with myself on what I want in life and not letting anything get in my way anymore. And I've been doing a course with Tony Childs that's absolutely changed my life. And I know that's what it is. There's more to come for me. And I don't know why I took so long to get started on this course. I should have got started a long time ago, but I'm feeling that I'm open. And I'm not letting the no's affect me anymore. I'm just moving on to the next one and keeping going forward. Right. And it's working for me.
Yeah. So like Tori put in the comments, follow up. You've been following up. And I believe that the people you've been following up with are seeing a different Mike than what they saw before. Yes. Right?
Yes.
And so what Mike said here is really, really key, you guys. We know how important personal growth is. I remember, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, Mike, but I remember a time when if this is emotional level, Mike would be here, and then he'd be talking to someone who's interested, and then he'd be there. And then if they weren't interested or wouldn't get back to him, he'd be down here, and your emotional range was all over the place, right? Now, Mike's like, oh, I just enrolled another one today. Oh, I know I enrolled another one today. I've got a couple people looking, but they're not interested right now. It's okay. You've been so even keeled. It's amazing. So the personal growth that you've been doing is key, but listen to this, everyone. Mike is on a personal growth journey to heal, like you said, get rid of some of those inner demons and heal through things. He's doing the business at the same time. He's not taking a break to do personal growth. And a lot of times people feel I can only do one thing at a time. It does not take. How much effort have you put in, Mike, in the business, like compared to how you used to?
My average, I do an hour a day or more if it comes. I'm constantly on my messenger, or I'm constantly on my phone. It doesn't matter where I am. If I'm at a friend's house having a beer, just chilling around the fire, I'm on the phone. If someone's talking to me, it's a part of my life every day. Right.
So part of what you have said to me in the past is you're very competitive and you have huge expectations. How have you let those expectations change? Like Taylor Worry talks about turn your expectation into appreciation. How have you been able to get those expectations, I guess, in control?
I was thinking about this on the drive home, actually. With me, I'm very competitive. I grew up with competitive people, hockey players that were stars and stuff like that. And it was always who'd get the next goal or who'd get the girl. It was always something competitive. So I was never the guy on top. I'll tell you that right now. I was always the guy below, always. But that's because I'm just an average guy. These guys weren't average. Let's be honest. But what's changed for me is I'm not competitive anymore. And when it comes to being competitive, I cut it out because it's a bad habit that I can't have. It's a bad habit that derails me and destroys my path. Now I know inside my heart that I'm good enough. I can do this, and I don't need anybody else to be standing beside me or competing with anybody else to get there. I'm going to get there without that. That's how I feel.
That's amazing, Mike. It really is, because when you're competitive, you're comparing yourself. You're either comparing yourself to them or you're comparing them to you. And all comparison is a thief to joy. It'll hold you back. So that's amazing. I mean, I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now. Oh boy, I spent a lot of time with Mike lately. We've been out golfing, and I know Mike's competitive, and so we played so terrible the last time we went golfing. And we probably laughed the entire time. Neither of us were upset.
Yeah.
It was just an enjoyable time.
I don't feel like I have to be competitive with you, though, Kerry. And that's not a bad thing. I feel like we're just there to have a good time, talk some business, talk about life, and swing the clubs. That's what makes it more fun, playing golf with you.
And that's how you're talking to people now, right?
That's how I'm doing the business, yes. Exactly.
Okay. So I've got a question for you, Mike. We've often heard and been to events where we see somebody on stage and we're thinking, oh man, if they can do it, we can do it. But what we don't get is where their confidence level is and the inner work that they've done to get themselves to that point. Would it be fair to say, or could you say to this whole group that if you can do it, everyone can do it?
100%. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The thing is that people get caught up, and I find is that they see like the success of other people being successful, but what they don't understand is they've been working on that for a year or 2 years to get to that point. And it's not a race. It's not a race. Work on yourself and get there, and you'll have the same rewards and the same goals, but you have to let that race go, that expectation of, well, they can do it, I can do it. Like, you have to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
It has to go.
That's great. How many of you have known Mike for a while? Hands up. How many of you have seen a big change in Mike? And it's because you want it, right?
100%, I want it.
So, are you okay if I ask you as a final question?
Ask me anything, Kerry. It's fine.
This is awesome. There's no pretending here. It's just all from the heart. We have these discussions every day. I kid you not. What is it you want out of LifeVantage right now? If I were to say, why are you doing this and what are you doing it for? What's that answer that's on the tip of your tongue?
Let's make this a two-part question here. So if you would ask me this 4 years ago, I would have told you a big house, all these cars in the world. I want to live at the lake. I want to travel the world. I still want to do a lot of that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but that's not my main focus anymore. My main focus now is to get out there and help other people become successful and do charities and go to Mexico and build homes with legacy. That's my main goal now is to help others. And I always felt that I wanted to help others, but I wasn't focusing on that part of it. I was focusing on materialistic things that I can't take with me. So don't get me wrong, a lot of those materialistic things are going to be in my life. They're just not my main focus anymore. My focus is to get out there, help others, and grow my business with a strong foundation of people that are willing to help other people.
That's amazing. That ultimately what this industry is all about. And what you said, the Mike 4 years ago, is typically how everybody sees the industry. Oh, they're just people that want the big house, the big cars, the this, the that. You are a perfect example as a representative of LifeVantage, Mike, to make a difference in the world. And I see you doing that. So do you have anything that you'd like to share with the group just as a final statement?
Yeah, I just want to say it like this, guys. So you remember, I think it was a month and a half ago, I think it was 2 months ago, they came back with, let's go back to the basics. And, you know, and the Fred Graves and the Tory Hills and all those people that are above us built this business on NRF2, the basics. And you guys, that's all I'm doing is going back to the basics of NRF2. Most of these customers I've signed up is a bag of Axio or a bottle of NRF2 on subscription. And if they can do it on NRF2 and build this business and be where they are today, why can't we do that part? That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to make it complicated anymore and go out and sell them the Vitality Stack or whatever else. If they want the Vitality Stack, I don't say no to it. But my main focus is to get them on NRF2 because NRF2 changes lives. Mm-hmm. It changes life. I've had a few people now. My mom's one it's changed her life, and she is talking to everybody. I'm dealing with 4 people just for her right now by myself because she's not that person. She's had to pass them to me, right? But it changes life. So get them on it. That's the most important part. Is get them on NRF2. That's. I went back to the basics, you guys.
Perfect, Mike. Thank you so much. Everyone, unmute your line right now and just give a big cheer for Mike because this is awesome.
Way to go, Mike. Way to go.
Thank you, Mike.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
So proud of you. Super proud.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. I
Okay.
appreciate all of you guys.
Thanks, Mike. So I've got 10 minutes here to blast through some stuff. I could have probably gone another 10 minutes with Mike. Is it not inspirational for each of you to hear his story? Because Mike may go through next month and not enroll anyone, and that's okay because he knows what he's doing and where he's going. But he's changing lives along the way. Now my screen just shrunk here. What happened? Did anyone else's screen just change? Okay, whoops. Okay, I'm gonna get the chat up here because, oh boy.
I'm not sure why.
It looked like it added 2 more people to the call.
Oh, that could be why. Okay, so I'm keeping the chat up here. I'm gonna be asking questions. Please be active in the chat. I've been reading some Jim Rohn. I've been reading and studying with Tony Child. I've been reading and studying some Mel Robbins and some Lewis Howes this past week, and I've got pages of notes. So I'm going to share some things with you. A lot of what I'm going to share is evident with what's been happening with Mike. And so I'm just going to jump right in. Jim Rohn said we are always faced with these 2 choices, okay? Write these down if you're taking notes, type them in the comments. The 2 choices are do it now, which requires discipline, or do it later, which is procrastination. Hesitation comes from fear or the lack of belief in yourself. So the moment you feel that you're going to hesitate, or the moment you feel hesitation around anything, you have a choice. And that is to follow your habits, which are comfortable, okay? Or to get uncomfortable and move forward and do that thing. So hesitation is absolutely the precursor to changing your life if you know what to do. And we're going to talk about that. You can hesitate for a moment, and that's okay. But you can procrastinate for a lifetime. That's not okay. Not for any of us, not for any of you on here. So what causes you to procrastinate? Your brain wants to keep you safe. So whatever appears the easiest, that's the direction you'll go. There's a mechanism that will push back every time. It'll push you back every time. It's in your brain the moment you face something that's uncomfortable. So everybody fold your arms. I'm trusting that those that aren't online here are folding your arms, okay? I've got my right arm on top. Who has the right arm on top? The right hand on top, okay? So you guys got it right. Just kidding. Now, switch quickly. Switch it quickly. Quickly. Are any of you still trying to get it? Yeah? Okay. Switch it quickly and keep it there. Okay. that mechanism in your brain is probably screaming at you right now, stop doing that. Stop doing that. It's uncomfortable. Are any of you still holding it in the opposite position, or have you all stopped already? Everyone stopped? Okay, you were able to get uncomfortable for about 8 seconds. Oh, Tom's the man. Okay, so Tom, if you keep it that way till the end of the call, see if it feels comfortable. When you take your arms apart, put them back together, does it go back to the old way or the new way?
I didn't say it was comfortable. I'm still holding it.
Okay. See, here's the thing. When you're used to doing something, your brain, it takes you that direction. So if you're faced with a problem, if you're faced with doing something that's uncomfortable, your brain wants to take you to safety. Okay, that's why we remain alive. Other than if you've seen videos why it says why men don't live as long as women, they do some stupid things. So we don't often seek motivation or the urge to move forward so we feel like doing what we need to do to build our business. Because, you know, to get the results you want, 9 times out of 10, you'll never feel like doing the things that will take you to that next level. I'll say that again. The results you want, 9 times out of 10, you will never feel like doing the things that will get you there. Okay, so think about with the arms folded, you switched it around. Those are the things that we have to do to move our business forward. And it's really uncomfortable for most of us. Where was I here? I get going sometimes. It's going against your habits, okay? A big key to living a disciplined life is learning to do the things you don't want to do when you don't feel like doing them. Now, does that sound fun to anyone? Hey, guess what we're doing tonight? We're all gonna do the things we don't want to do when we don't want to do them tonight. It sounds like a power hour, right? So that's how we're gonna move the needle forward. It's by getting uncomfortable, doing the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do them. You have to live contrary to the law of diminishing intent. Now that's something I know everyone's heard before. I'm gonna have to skip a whole page here. The law simply is this: the longer you wait to do something that you know you could and should do, the less likely it is that you will actually do it in the future. John Maxwell said, self-discipline is developed by saying yes when you want to say no, and saying no when you want to say yes. I've seen some people on my team doing this in the past year when I've asked for different things. It used to be no, now it's shifting to yes. It's exciting to see that change. It's easy to say yes in your comfort zone. It's hard to say no in your comfort zone. Friend invites you to go to a movie or go out for a drink or a coffee or tea. And that's really, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go. It's easy to say, but it's hard to say, no, I'm doing something to build my business first. Likewise, it's easy to say no to the things outside your comfort zone, and it's really hard to say yes. So part of this growth is the awareness of all these things. And once you hear something, you can't unhear it. And so I'm hoping that you're all listening, that you're all hearing this. I saw Facebook Live. Cheryl Cook is doing a Facebook Live tonight. Woo! Okay, so that's talking about getting uncomfortable. Let's talk about procrastination for a minute. I got 3 minutes here. Oh, I got so much good stuff. How do you know when you're procrastinating? You can type in the comments. I want some interaction here, but we're not going to have time. It will be when your reasons for not changing outweigh your reasons for becoming more. Now that may sting a little bit. Procrastination is simply an excuse. what are excuses? Here's what an excuse is. Every excuse is followed by the word or a similar word, but. But I don't have time. I would, but, okay? I know this, I know I should do it, but, okay? I need to figure this out, but, right? How many of you have used the word but? So now what you know, if you use the word but, it's an excuse and you're procrastinating. And what you're really saying is, I want the life I have now more than I want the life I could have. Does that suck? It's true. Okay, it's true. Remember that. And the thing is, the more excuses you give, the more buts you give, excuses always lead to quitting. So Mel Robbins, this is going to have to end here. How many of you have heard Mel Robbins, read her book, listened to her audio, seen her at Elite Academies? I think everyone has. What's Mel Robbins famous for?
5-second rule.
5-second rule. Okay. How many of you understand the concept and everything behind the 5-second rule? How many of you are using the 5-second rule all day long?
Not all day long.
Okay. So the question is, do you really understand it? Because my belief is, if you don't understand something, you may not be doing it. If you don't believe it, you may not be doing it. How many of you want to be more confident in doing your business? Do you know how you become more confident? Not by thinking, because you know what thinking can do? Thinking can destroy your dreams. If you start thinking without taking action, it's usually not really positive, and it can really, really hold you back. So what 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 does is that when you hit that moment of hesitation, that's okay. Then you count backwards and just do it. And if you could implement that at every hesitating point in your life as you know it right now will change completely. Because the only way to boost your confidence, to increase your confidence, is to take action. And you are actually taking action by counting backwards. It's a thought process that you have to do. And then you act. And so I'm gonna throw a challenge out really quick. I know we're a minute over. There's how many people on this call right now? 16 people on the call, including me, because I'm doing this. I challenge every one of you before you go to bed tonight to reach out to 10 people. Okay, 10 people. And it might just be, hey, how are you doing? Hey, it's been a long time since we've chatted. Hey, what's up? You don't have to do an invite. It's 10 reach outs to start a conversation. Now, I'm not going to ask who's going to do this. I'm challenging all of you to do it. And what I want you to do is, in the team pages, your team pages, before you go to bed, type in 10 when you've done it. And if I see any of you, because I've got all your names written down here, and so does Tori, okay, and they're all going to Brandon later tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. But when I go to the team pages, and if I don't see a 10, then there had to have been an excuse. An excuse is procrastinating, which means you're happier where you are right now than where you could be if your business is where you want it to be. Start challenging yourself every day. DMO is perfect for this, to do the things that you don't want to do when you don't want to do them. You may not want to reach out to 10 people tonight. You can do it in 3 minutes, literally. Or it could take 10 minutes if you really want to take some time. Drop a 10 in the comments. You don't have to say anything. Just write 10 on the team page. That's your commitment to show, I'm taking this serious. I'm not making any excuses. I'm not going to procrastinate another day. I'm moving the needle forward in my business tonight. Heaven forbid I would have done that, but I had dinner or I had a soccer game with my kids. Find the time. get uncomfortable, start doing the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do them. I'm over time. I'm going to send Tori a link for it's a long video with Mel Robbins. It's an interview with Lewis Howes, and it's really her story, how she started. I had no idea the things that she had been through before she got involved with what she's doing now. It's absolutely inspiring. I guarantee if you watch it, you'll gain something huge out of it. So I'll send you the link. I'll post it on my team page. You can post it on your team page. Make sure everyone has access to that. And let's do it. So thank you, Tori. We'll turn it back over to you to end, or do you want me just to say goodbye? Okay. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to everyone soon.
Thank you, Kerry. It was a great call. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.